guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you guys can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a foundation review, so that is why I'm starting barefaced. And with my eyeshadows, I'm actually doing a eyeshadow tutorial right now at the same time that I'm filming this, so I'm kind of switching back and forth. But for this video, I am doing a foundation review on the COVERGIRL TruBlend Matte Made Foundation. They sent me this entire freaking pack. It literally weighs like 50 pounds right now. This is killing me. But they sent me the entire collection of foundations inside of this box. There's literally 40 shades inside of here. I'm so blown away by the amount of shades that they came out with, but I had to put that box down because it was way too heavy. But they also came out with 4 new primers, and they came out with a pore minimizing primer, a skin smoothing primer, a color neutralizing primer, and an illuminating primer. So that is so awesome that they came out with 4 different ones depending on what skin type you have or what look you're going for. So I'm really excited to try these out. I actually already tried out the skin smoothing one yesterday as well as a foundation. So this is not a first impression, but I didn't wear it for a very long time yesterday, but I was like too excited to try it out. So this will kind of be like a second impression. With all of that being said, if you guys are interested on learning more about the new COVERGIRL TruBlend Matte Made Foundation, then let's just go ahead and jump into the video. And if you guys haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button while you guys are watching. And now let's just go ahead and get started. So since I already tried out the skin smoothing primer yesterday, which I will say it was really nice, like it felt really good on the skin, and it definitely smoothed out some of my pores. Not completely, but it smoothed out a lot of my pores. So I'm going to try 2 different primers today, and the ones I'm trying is the illuminating one and the pore minimizing one. So I'm going to try the illuminating one on this side of my face and pore minimizing one on this side of my face. So basically what the illuminating one claims is that it illuminates to enhance skin's radiance, wear alone or as a perfecting makeup base, and long-lasting weightless feel, oil-free, fragrance-free, and suitable for all skin types. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of that and we'll rub it in. I wouldn't say that it's fragrance-free because I can definitely smell a fragrance, but it's not a bad fragrance. It honestly smells like hand soap, like a really nice, clean, fresh smell. It's not a bad smell at all, and it's not super strong either. But like I said, I wouldn't say that it's fragrance-free completely. Right off the bat, I can already tell that the primer definitely is more illuminating. This side is one that I did it on, so as you guys can see, it's a lot more glowy than this side right here. Just looks a little bit more dull. So that's really cool that a drugstore primer can do that, because a lot of the ones that say illuminating are just really glittery and they're not actually illuminating, but this actually looks really good. So that's awesome. And now I'm going to try the pore minimizing one on this side right here. This one doesn't actually feel silicone-y, which is a surprise to me because I know most of the time when it says pore minimizing, it's very silicone-y and very sticky, but this one's very smooth. What I will say about the illuminating primer is looking closer at my skin, you can definitely see a little bit of like the glitter shimmer. It's not full-on glitter, but you can definitely see the golden shimmer. It's more golden shimmer than the Becca Backlight primer, but it kind of gives you the same luminosity of it. So I honestly think it's still really pretty. Like if you're about to go on the beach or something, I think it's a really pretty, like it said, like you can wear it alone. I think it would be really pretty. It's not too much glitter or overwhelming, but I definitely want to point that out, that it's not like that clear luminosity. You definitely can see the gold speckles inside of it. So just wanted to point that out. But the 2 shades that I'm mixing today are the M20 and the M30. As you guys can see, my body is a lot tanner than my face, so these will be a lot tanner. But I think this one's just a little bit too red, and this one might be a good way to neutralize it out. So I'm actually going to do one side of my face with a brush and one side with a sponge. Just taking a little bit of the M30 right there. This one is the M20. All right, so on this side of my face, I'm going to use this Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush, which is one of my favorite foundation brushes. While I was blending this out, I totally just realized that I forgot to read the claims of this foundation, so we're just gonna quickly go through those so we can go through them later and see if they actually live up to those. So it says, from your favorite CoverGirl foundation line comes a matte formula that isn't drying or cakey. True Blend Matte Made formula is developed to Flexi Hold technology that creates a strong yet flexible film on the skin for durability and comfort, while the mattifying powders absorb oil and minimizes pores for a soft, matte, flawless finish up to 12 hours of wear. So right underneath there it says 12-hour comfort matte, pore minimizing, oil control, transfer resistant, and 40 shades. So obviously 40 shades, we already know that one. So looking at what I blended out so far, I definitely like that it still looks like skin on your face. It's definitely a medium coverage. You can probably build it up to a full coverage. We're gonna test that out real quick, but I can see a little bit of my skin peeking through. So that's nice because you don't want it to be too cakey on the skin, and it definitely doesn't look cakey at all so far. So I'm going to take a little bit more of those 2 shades and see if we can build it up. I definitely need more on my forehead because I didn't get enough. All right, and I'm gonna blend that second layer in. The second layer did really well on top of there. It's still not super cakey or anything like that. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but just use a beauty blender to do so. I definitely think the foundation oxidized just a little tiny bit. But now that I did this side with the beauty blender, I definitely think this side gives a little bit more full coverage than this one, and it definitely sinks into the skin a lot nicer than with the brush. So I definitely would recommend using a sponge instead of a brush with this foundation. But also looking at this side, as far as primers go, I did use the pore minimizing primer on this side, and I will say that my pores don't really look any smaller than this side, at least not noticeably. But I will say that I did use the skin smoothing primer yesterday, and it actually did smooth out my pores a lot more than I would say the pore minimizing one. So that's very weird, but I definitely like this one a lot. It was very moisturizing, but at the same time it smoothed out a lot of my skin. So, and then I did use the illuminating primer on this side right here, and I will say it gives a little bit more of a glow than this side, but nothing too crazy. I'm kind of interested to see if you could mix the illuminating primer with the foundation and kind of see if you could get like a glowier, more natural finish. I definitely like this side a lot more than the one with the brush. The sponge just makes it look a lot more synced into the skin, and this looks like a little bit more cakey. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can actually see what it looks like so far. So this side was the one with the luminous primer and then the brush. I don't know if you guys can see right here on my upper lip and nose area, it looks a little bit more cakey than this side right here. I feel like this side just looks a lot more natural and like into the skin, rather than this side right here. I'm gonna do my concealer real quick and see how that layers on top. I'm using this Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I finished blending out my concealer, and this side just looks so cakey on my nose and mouth area, the one that I did with the brush. I do not like this side, especially my nose. Like, that is driving me crazy. It looks terrible right here on my nose, but this side looks freaking amazing with the beauty blender. Like, it looks absolutely flawless right here. Definitely love this foundation with a beauty blender, but we're just going to move past that. That is part of the review. That is why I test those things out, and thank God that I did. So now I'm just going to go off camera real quick, finish up the rest of my face. My eyes will probably be done as well. Like, my whole entire face will be done, so that way I can go ahead and show you guys the finished look with it all and let you guys know how the bronzers and everything layered on top. And then we'll do some check-ins later throughout the day. So I will see you guys just a second when the rest of my face is finished. I finished up the rest of my makeup, and this is what foundation looks like now. Everything layered on top of it really nicely. I didn't have any problems blending anything out. My concealer blended out really nicely, especially on this side right here, but I wouldn't say with the brush. I did set everything with translucent powder and bronzer, so when I'm going like this, I'm not having any issues with transfer on my hands. It doesn't feel sticky or cakey. You know, sometimes some foundations don't set, but this one looks like it's setting really nicely. I'm not having any transferring, so I do think it is transfer proof, but we're going to keep doing check-ins throughout the day so that way you guys can see. I am about to go to the gym right now, so I'm going to actually take off my eyeshadow just because it's a little too much, and take off my lipstick, so you guys will see a little bit different in the next couple of clips when I do check in. But it is 12 o'clock right now, so we're going to do about a 10-hour wear test today just because I do have work in the morning, so I don't want to stay up till midnight and do a 12-hour wear test. But we're going to go ahead and check in a couple hours. But like I said, I'll look really, really different because I am taking off my eyeshadow, my lipstick, and all of this right here. And I'm going to the gym so that way we can see if it's sweat proof or not. So far the foundation still looks really good. It is about 4:30 right now, so it has been on for about 4.5 hours. And I still think it looks amazing. The only place that I see looks different is right here, like on my hairline where I was like sweating and stuff. But besides that, everything else still looks really, really good. It still looks matte, which is awesome because I was really sweaty at the gym. Everything foundation wise from here down still looks the same. It doesn't look like I did any like workouts at all, like I said, besides the hairline, but everything else looks perfect. So I'm really excited to keep checking up on you guys. I think the next checkup that I will do will be in about like 6 more hours. Alright, so now it is 10 o'clock and I am here for my last check-in, and I can honestly say this foundation still looks really, really good. I'm like highly impressed by this foundation. It's been 10 hours and it still looks absolutely flawless except for the parts that I sweat off right here on my forehead. But as far as everything else, my chin is the only place where it's separating. Everywhere else, it still looks perfect, especially right here on my cheeks. It looks absolutely flawless. I am loving this foundation so far. I really think the foundation itself looks amazing. Don't mind my eyes. I know my mascara is like running and everything and my eyes look terrible, but that's what you get when you like do a full glam eye makeup look and then you just cover it up with concealer after you makeup wipe it. So yeah, that is the end result to that. I also didn't use any setting spray and I didn't use my normal primer. So I think if I use like my everyday Ride or Die primer and I use the setting spray, I think it would be absolutely like flawless by the end of the day. So I'm really interested to just keep on using this foundation, but I really think it looks great for 10 hours and I think it could definitely last for 12 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that 12-hour wear test a thumbs up. However, the pore smoothness, I don't really think it made a difference to my pores, especially with a pore smoothing primer. Didn't do really anything. So yeah, that's the only thing that I would say is like kind of like, eh. I think besides the smoothing of the pores, it definitely lived up to all the other claims because there wasn't any transferring issues. I didn't have any oil. I think it just looks absolutely amazing. So I would give this foundation about an 8 out of 10. I am loving it. For drugstore foundation, you really can't beat that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope that it was helpful for you all. Let me know if you guys want to see more foundation reviews because I'm more than happy to do them for you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel and I'll see you guys in my next video.